Curse of Oak Island finds clues to Viking settlement. The Curse of Oak Island continues to find things that play into the thoughts that either the Knights Templar or Vikings, or both, were on the island in the past with possible treasure to hide. This week's episode brought up the Vikings' presence again. This was through new evidence found in Season 12. Here's what the team found on the island and what it could all mean. Curse of Oak Island finds new Viking evidence. The Curse of Oak Island has always supposed that Vikings made their way to the island in the past and left some treasure buried somewhere. Over the series run, the treasure hunters have found evidence of Viking existence there. This week's episode showed they found even more evidence to prove this theory. Marty Legina and his team traveled to Lance Ox Meadows in Newfoundland, Canada, to the UNESCO World Heritage Site. This is the only verified location in North America where the Norse people settled, dating back to the year 1000. Explorers discovered the site in 1960. It is about 31 square miles and has about 800 Viking artifacts. It also includes what used to be 8 buildings, including a forge. The location of the UNESCO World Heritage Site is very close to Oak Island, 600 miles away. Rick and Marty Legina believe the Vikings helped lead the Knights Templar to Oak Island, where they hid sacred relics and treasure. The team also traveled to Europe in 2023 to investigate the Viking connection. Experts at Lance Ox Meadows made some comments that excited the Legina brothers about the possibilities. What have the Legina brothers found this season? Seeing the settlement in person and knowing the Vikings created it was incredible. Marty Legina says of the expedition via Fox. And knowing it wasn't a terribly long journey to reach Oak Island from there was just as impressive. Marty then returned to Oak Island and said that what they learned makes this seemingly unlikely theory even more plausible. This is exciting for the brothers, as Rick has already said that learning the island's history is almost more important than finding treasure. This all happened while the team found more exciting stuff on the island. Rick said they found a potential new tunnel, and Lot 5 might be the sweet spot for the mythical treasure. The observation that it could be an ancient place of worship, and have archaeologists not dismiss it as a possibility, is more than intriguing, executive producer Joe Lessard said. That's why the dig must continue to figure it out. The December 3 episode's title is Concrete Evidence, so that is very exciting. The sun cast a golden glow over Oak Island as the Legina brothers, Marty and Rick, stood atop the infamous Money Pit site, staring at a newly discovered artifact. A carved wooden object, weathered but intricately detailed, lay in Rick's hands. The find wasn't just another piece of debris. This was something more, something ancient. We've been chasing legends and whispers for years, Rick said, his voice tinged with awe. But this changes everything. Marty nodded, his usual skepticism melting away. The carving bore symbols strikingly similar to Norse runes. With the team buzzing with excitement, it became clear that the history of Oak Island might be linked not just to pirates or Templar knights, but to something far older, Vikings. A discovery buried in time. The lead-up to this discovery began weeks earlier when the team unearthed a peculiar stone near Smith's Cove. Unlike other finds, this stone had distinct chisel marks and patterns that didn't match anything attributed to the British, Spanish, or French. After consulting expert archaeologist Dr. Petra Hogland, who specialized in Viking history, their suspicions were confirmed. The markings were Norse. This type of chisel work aligns with Viking settlements found in Newfoundland, Dr. Hogland had explained. The Norse had a known presence in North America around 1000 AD, at places like Lance Ox Meadows. If Vikings were here, it would predate other theories about Oak Island by centuries. The possibility of Vikings using Oak Island as a temporary settlement or a waypoint electrified the team. The questions now multiplied. What were the Norse doing here? Was Oak Island merely a stopover, or did it hold a greater purpose in their voyages? Could the elusive treasure of the island tie back to these seafaring explorers? A Norse connection. Over the next few days, the team focused their efforts on areas that could provide more evidence of Viking activity. Near the swamp, a feature of the island that had confounded them for years. Metal detector specialist Gary Drayton struck gold, metaphorically speaking. This could be the find of a lifetime, Gary exclaimed as he pulled an iron axe head from the muck. The artifact, covered in centuries of corrosion, bore a distinctive Viking design with a curved edge and reinforced spine. Rick immediately contacted Dr. Haugland, who confirmed the axe head's Norse origin. "This design is unmistakable," she said. "It's the kind of tool a Viking would use for shipbuilding or even defense." And the ironwork suggests it was crafted in the early 11th century. As the team processed the significance of the find, Marty couldn't help but voice what was on everyone's mind. If Vikings were here, what were they looking for? Resources, shelter, or treasure? A runestone and its secrets. The next breakthrough came during a late-night dig at the money pit. Heavy machinery revealed a flat, smooth stone buried deep within the soil. What made this stone remarkable wasn't just its placement. It bore etchings of runes similar to those on the earlier wooden artifact. Rick traced his fingers over the carvings. "We need these translated." Immediately. With the help of Norse historian Dr. Ingrid Larson, who joined via video call, the runes were deciphered. The inscription roughly translated to the west, the treasure lies buried beneath the guardian of the sea. What could the guardian of the sea mean? Alex Legina asked, his curiosity piqued. It could be a landmark, perhaps a natural feature resembling a protector, Dr. Larson suggested. Or it could reference a structure the Vikings created. Revisiting the swamp. If the inscription held any truth, the swamp became the team's next focus. Over the years, theories had suggested it was man-made or altered significantly, and the idea of Viking engineering in this area wasn't far-fetched. Under the guidance of geophysicist Dr. Ian Spooner, the team employed ground-penetrating radar to survey the swamp. What they found stunned them. A large, ship-shaped anomaly buried beneath layers of sediment. This could be a Norse snare, Dr. Haugland hypothesized after reviewing the radar data. These ships were essential to Viking exploration, used for transporting cargo and navigating open seas. The Laginas wasted no time in excavating the site. What emerged from the swamp was astonishing. Fragments of wooden planks, preserved in the anaerobic conditions, and iron nails consistent with Viking shipbuilding techniques. This might be one of the most significant discoveries in North American archaeology, Marty said, unable to hide his excitement. Unanswered questions. Despite the incredible finds, many questions remained unanswered. The Viking artifacts proved their presence on Oak Island, but the purpose of their visit was still a mystery. The runestone's cryptic message suggested treasure, but whether it referred to Norse riches or something they discovered on the island was unclear. Historian Charles Barkhouse proposed a tantalizing theory. What if the Vikings were guardians of something they found here? Perhaps the treasure isn't theirs, but they left clues to protect it. A new chapter in the mystery. As the season of the Curse of Oak Island drew to a close, the team reflected on their groundbreaking discoveries. Viking presence on Oak Island added a layer of history far beyond the scope of their initial search for treasure. It also raised the stakes, offering a glimpse into the island's significance across centuries. Standing on the shore as the sun dipped below the horizon, Rick spoke to the camera crew. Oak Island has always been about more than just treasure. It's a story of people, persistence, and mystery. And now we've uncovered a chapter we never expected. Marty added with his trademark grin, but don't think for a second that we're stopping here. If there's more to find, and I believe there is, we'll find it. As the credits rolled, the audience was left with a tantalizing promise of more adventures, more secrets, and perhaps, finally, the answers to Oak Island's enduring mystery.